Hey, what's up, everyone? TFD back again with another video. Now listen, this move definitely caught some folks off guard. The Fever just signed Ari McDonald to a hardship contract, and the fan base is buzzing. Some love it, some are questioning it, but either way, it's a move that needed to happen. Personally, I like the signing. I've been saying this for a minute. Indiana needs someone at the point who can actually get buckets and run the show. Right now, they're getting almost nothing from the guard spot offensively. You can't keep pushing everything onto Aaliyah Boston or rotating guards with no production. You need a real floor general who can make things happen. And right now, Ari McDonald is that shot. King's been out here handing the Fever LS like candy. They need help. Point blank. Now to be clear, we don't know how long Ari's gonna be with the squad. It's a hardship deal, so it could be short term. But from everything she said, she's fired up to be an Indy. And that energy matters right now. We'll see what she brings to the floor, but for now, let's show her some love and see how it plays out. He Fever's backcourt. It's in shambles right now. Sophie Cunningham's down. Syd Coulson? Also out. And of course, Caitlin Clark already missing time. That's 3 guards down, which means major holes to fill in this rotation. Now I know a lot of Fever fans were hoping for a reunion with Graceberger. Some were even dreaming of somehow pulling Kennedy Carter over from Mexico, but that wasn't happening. She's locked in overseas. Others were talking about giving Serena Sundal a shot. But in the end, Ari McDonald is the one they went with, and honestly, that's not a bad choice at all. Let me break it down. I actually watched her last season with the Sparks. She put up 8.7 points, 3.7 assists, and kept her turnovers under 2 per game, all while averaging just 21 minutes a night. That's solid production for a guard in a limited role. And don't forget, she was battling an ankle injury last year and still showed flashes of that playmaker DNA. Her assist-to-turnover ratio, pretty decent. And that's exactly what the Fever need right now, someone to stabilize the floor, especially with Caitlin out. Now I get it. She's only 5 feet 6 inches. Pairing her with Kelsey Mitchell in the backcourt makes that a small duo. But let's be real, the Fever don't have time to nitpick. They're in desperation mode right now. You need a guard who can dribble, pass, shoot, and Ari can do that. She shot 40% from the field, 48% at the 2, and 31.9% from deep last season. That's just under league average for 3-point shooting, but you know what? At least she's taking those shots, which is something the Fever have not been doing enough of lately. And her free throw percentage, 84%. That's elite. And with how shaky the Fever have been at the line, yes, even Caitlin Clark, that's a welcome upgrade. Now she was waived by the Sparks earlier in May, mostly because Odyssey Sims came in on a hardship contract and straight up balled. Sims ended up earning that spot, so McDonald became the odd one out. But now, Ari gets a new shot. Is she the long-term answer in Indiana? That's still up in the air. But for now, in this stretch where the Fever are bleeding at the guard position, Ari McDonald makes a lot of sense. If she can take pressure off Kelsey Mitchell, let Kelsey slide back into her more natural 2-guard role, and get this offense moving, that's a win. Let's keep it real. Indiana needs buckets. They need ball movement. And they need someone who's not afraid to step up. Ari might be that spark, even if just for now. There's no way around it. The Indiana Fever are really struggling from beyond the arc right now. I mean, they're not even in the top 8 teams for 3-pointers made this season. That's not just bad. That's concerning. You've even got teams like the Seattle Storm, who've been criticized for not replacing their shooters since the Stewart and Bird era, ranking higher. Even the Connecticut Sun, who aren't exactly known for volume shooting from deep, are ahead of the Fever. And it gets even more glaring when you throw in the Golden State Valkyries. Now, look, they're basically a 3-point experiment at this point, just chucking up shots from deep, but even at 26%, which is abysmal, they're still ranked above Indiana. That's how little the Fever are even attempting threes, let alone converting them. Now, the top-tier 3-point teams? No surprise there. New York Liberty is leading the pack, especially after what they just did to the Connecticut Sun. That game was a complete domination. And second place, Minnesota Lynx. So yeah, the proof is right there. 3-point shooting matters in this league. And sure, I get that with Caitlin Clark out, the Fever try to shift the offense back inside and focus on getting Aaliyah Boston more touches. And to their credit, They did go back to Boston more against Connecticut, but they sacrificed their spacing in the process, because when you got someone like Syd Coulson starting at point, she's just not a reliable threat from three. She doesn't shoot it at volume or efficiency. Sophie Cunningham can shoot threes, and honestly, she needed to step up more. But she had a rough game even before going out with injury. Aaliyah Boston, not a three-point shooter. Kelsey Mitchell, still stuck in a frustrating slump. And even though Dewana Bonner is pulling herself out of hers, she's still not lighting it up efficiently. Natasha Howard, not a volume shooter from deep. And Brianna Turner, she's not really giving you anything offensively. Dantas, limited minutes, and hasn't found her rhythm yet. Lexi Hull, though. Lexi's been a bright spot. I've loved her intensity and her willingness to shoot, but she needs more volume. They need to let her go from deep, which is why Ari McDonald might be exactly what this team needs right now, even at just 5 feet 6 inches. Yeah, she's small, but she will shoot the three, and she does it at a respectable clip, right around 32%, which is just slightly below league average, but honestly a breath of fresh air for this Fever roster. And look, Ari McDonald not walking in here with a guaranteed role. She was waived by the Sparks back in May after they decided to keep Odyssey Sims, who came in on a hardship contract and played well enough to stick. So Ari McDonald is hungry. She's got something to prove, and that energy might actually help Indiana in this stretch where they desperately need ball handling and shot making. Is she a long-term solution? Maybe not. But right now, with Syd out, with Caitlin still recovering, and with so few three-point threats healthy or producing, Ari McDonald's presence could force defenses to respect the perimeter just enough to free up space for Boston and get Mitchell back to the 2, where she belongs. And you can bet Ari McDonald is going to be gunning for that backup PG spot. Syd has had moments, sure, but there have been stretches, especially in that Washington game, where her minutes were hard to justify. She made some adjustments in the Connecticut game, I'll give her that. But Ari McDonald urgency, her ability to push the pace and actually score, that's something Indiana hasn't had off the bench in a while. And if Ari McDonald comes out locked in and confident, she just might make this roster rethink some things. Alright y'all, let's roll the clip of her talking to the media. Let's see what she had to say.
Could you describe when you found out this opportunity would be coming for you and your emotions when that happened?
Oh man, I was very anxious. Like, it felt weird, sitting at home just watching the games this time of the year. But when I got the call, I was very excited, very blessed. It was a humble experience to join a team like the Fever, and I'm just excited and I'm ready to compete and just win.
In what ways are you trying to acclimate yourself so quickly here?
Watching film, seeing what the players do, the system they run, their coverages. So, it's a quick turnaround, but I'm up for the challenge. That's a part of being a pro, just being ready for just anything. And so I'm ready to add my competitiveness, my speed, and just my will to win.
What have been kind of your early impressions about both the coaching staff and this new group that you're working with now?
Yeah, just by talking to the coaches and players, just to be confident in yourself and your game, and just playing free and just to, just take what the defense gave you. So I feel like they made it very easy and just simplified everything for me.
What was it like going through this first practice, just knowing tomorrow you kind of have to play?
I was a slight bit anxious, but again, it was my first day. I wasn't trying to overthink, because that's when turnovers happen or you just mess up. But just constantly playing, just not thinking too much and just calling what I'm comfortable with. But the girls did a great job of just, cheering me on and being very, accepting and welcoming.
How much did your instincts kick in?
A lot. My instincts kick in a lot. I don't want to do too much, but just playing, just going out there, having fun, and just being free.
Now, Stephanie White did take time to speak to the media today. So, we're going to pull that up as well.
Yeah, I've always been impressed with her ability to defend, her activity level on the defensive end of the floor, her ability to get to the paint and make decisions once she gets there. She's a true point guard, so she brings that energy, she brings that the ability to dictate, and she's been really good so far. It's a lot of information to absorb quickly, and she's done a great job with it.
What was Syd able to do today? Participate?
Syd participated in everything today, so now it'll just be we see how she recovers from this and make sure there's no setbacks.
What do you need to do to get Ari up to speed? Is there a specific coach that's working with her? How does that process work?
All of us really, Austin working with her a little bit, just watching offensive film, Bree the defensive film. We met with her when she got in town, going over everything. We got to keep it simple when she's out there. We can't do everything, So honing in on 3 or 4 plays, 3 or 4 actions that we can get her going with, and then allowing her to be her. She sets the tone on the defensive end of the floor, and we need that.
How do you anticipate her getting into the lineup rotation tomorrow? I guess okay, practice.
Yeah, I mean, she's got to play. She's brought in here to play, to handle the ball. We'll do a good job of keeping it simple for her. But she's a player. This is what she does. She's a point guard. She absorbs information quickly. She's been watching the film, and what she's been able to do in practice already has been very good.
When you add a player mid-season like this, do you find it's harder to get them up to speed or get everybody else up to them, if that makes sense, like getting them to fit with their style?
I think a combination of both. You've got to do a really good job of figuring out what you can run offensively, particularly when it's a point guard, right? With them involved in the action and who we're looking for and what. And then everybody else learning to read and play off of her. She's a different type of point guard and ball handler than Syd and Caitlin. She's different off the bounce than Kelsey. And so just learning where she's going to find you, how she's going to find you, and what to expect.
When we talked to you last week, you talked about without Caitlin, this is an opportunity to work on your depth. Not quite.
Yeah.
Maybe what you were thinking at that point,
Yeah.
but how would you describe where you're at with your team and the injuries that have kind of taken place?
Yeah, I mean, certainly an opportunity to work on with our depth, and then when that goes out and you're limited from a perimeter position, it makes things a little bit more difficult. We've kind of tweaked the way that we're running some things offensively. We'll try to get AB more involved and get her more touches. I mean, she's been incredibly efficient. She's got to be a focus for us to get her the ball. We've got to make sure that we're simplifying now on the defensive end of the floor with our limited numbers on the perimeter in terms of ball screen defense. But still, I think anytime that you're hit with adversity, it gives you an opportunity to grow through it. I'd rather be hit with this now in May, allow us to grow through it from not just an execution standpoint, but a toughness standpoint, a mental toughness as well as physical toughness standpoint, and be better from it.
Can you utilize AB as a hub like you talk about, or is that kind of out the window a little bit given the current circumstances?
I think we can in a different way. It might not always be reversing through her. It might be, using her as a hub from the low block, using her as a hub if she's bringing the ball down the floor. I mean, Washington is going to hassle our guards 94 feet, and they have the depth at the perimeter position to do that. So AB is going to have us bring the ball to the floor and get us into offense.
How do you see this with your blue?
All right, just finished talking to the press about this big game coming up. I want to hear what you think. Drop your opinions down in the comments. Don't forget to hit that notification bell so you never miss an update, because I'll be back with all the latest. Until then, stay positive, block out the negativity, and I'll catch you next time.